Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube page, where I'm previewing every single game here of Week 16 in the NFL. So be sure to subscribe to my page here on YouTube and also catch me on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. The Chicago Bears, trying to avoid another late season collapse, will travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. The Bears come into this game with a record of 8-6. They're tied with a cluster of four other teams there at 8-6. Minnesota at 8-6 is currently locked into that second wild card spot, and then behind them you have Dallas, Washington, the Giants, and the Bears, all at 8-6. So all these teams will hotly contest for that final playoff spot coming down the stretch here. This week, in my mind, the Bears get a little bit of a break to kind of get themselves right when they travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. The Bears, look, I think that with this game in particular, I think Brandon Marshall's comments last week, I think they were needed because I think that's something that didn't happen last year when they were going through their collapse. So why not try to, if you're Brandon Marshall, who I think came across good in that post-game press conference. I didn't get any kind of act from him. I thought the concerns he was addressing, one, were valid, and two, maybe needed to be said to get this team going in the right direction. He's having a heck of a season, so I think his comments have merit. We'll see how this plays out. I look for Jay Cutler to have a lot better game this week. I know the Cardinals' defense is the better part of their team, but I just look for the Bears' defense to really take it to Ryan Lindley and the Cardinals. I mean, the Cardinals won last week, but if you look at their offensive stats, they didn't have a running back over 70 yards, and Ryan Lindley passed for 104 yards. So I don't think Jay Cutler, I think the message from the Bears coaching staff is going to be to Cutler to just not turn the ball over. If he doesn't turn the ball over, I don't even see any way the Cardinals can muster enough offense without getting favorable field position to win this game. And I think you'll see that play out here. I don't think, the big difference between this year and last year for the Bears is Cutler is playing. Okay, I think there was a huge, obviously, loss last year with Cutler being out. Yes, I know Urlacher is out this year, but I'm not saying Cutler is historically a better player than Urlacher, but I think for this team, Cutler is more important, and I think that bared out last year, and I think it'll bear out towards the end of the season this year. And I think they win this game. They go to 9-6. As far as the Cardinals go, look, the Cardinals, they won last week, okay? So I know people are going to tell me that, hey, look, they won last week. They're at home. You got to look at the way they won, though. Matthew Stafford basically gave that game away with 3 interceptions. They were playing a team that was not motivated to play at all, at least in my mind. A team that, is just listless right now in the Lions. You're going to get a Bears team coming in here, highly motivated, a little ticked off from their loss last week. And I think you're going to see Ryan Lindley have a very tough day. While Chicago is 30th in sacks, and their overall defensive stats are probably not as impressive as you'd think they would be. One thing they can do, although it's been dropping off in the last 4 or 5 weeks, they can turn you over. And I think the Bears get back to that. I think they get back to being opportunistic on defense. I think they're able to force the Cardinals into turnovers, most notably Ryan Lindley. There'll be no way to hide him in this game because I think the Bears' offense is going to do enough where the Cardinals are going to have to score some points here. So I look for the Bears' defense to really do what everyone else has done to Ryan Lindley, except for the Lions, and that is make him look like a subpar quarterback. And I think that will definitely continue this week for the Bears. From a fantasy perspective, hey, Brandon Marshall should be in your lineup, okay, without a doubt. Matt Forte, never thought I'd say this. I think it kind of depends on your other running backs, but he's certainly a solid option as a mid to low end number 2, I think, in fantasy. But that's your fantasy aspect of this game. But back to reality, I like the Bears -5.5 on the road in the desert to beat Arizona. I don't think they'll come out lackluster. I think this team is different than the team last year, most notably with Cutler at the helm. And I know he can be up and down, but I look for him to be in between really bad and really good. So kind of in the middle, play good enough definitely for them to win. Certainly outplay Ryan Lindley. So I like the Bears -5.5 on the road in Arizona. Be sure to check my other picks here, previews on my YouTube page. Be sure to subscribe because you'll get these videos, my daily sports talk videos, delivered directly to your inbox. And always catch me on Twitter as well, @SNewsAnalysis. Thanks, guys.